Today we're going to be looking at planting potatoes in the garden. This patch of land that I'm planting them on here was dug in the spring, autumn, and just left over the winter. Before I started this morning, it looked a little bit like that down there, full of lumps and uneven. So all I've done is run a rake over it, broken up the lumps, levelled it out, and now it's ready for putting the plants in. I put a line down that side of the plot. That's so to get my potatoes in a straight line. You need to put your rows as straight as you can, because if you don't, it'll cause you all sorts of problems later. One of them is you'll get to the other end of the row and you'll have probably 2 feet at one end of your row and half an inch at the other. So it's a wasted space. Also notice that this line is placed well away from that edge. That is the edge of the bed, but you need to bring this well in because the plants will need all that space to grow and a similar amount on the other side. So please don't be tempted to try and economise and grow them right up from the edge there. Potatoes are traditionally grown in a trench, about 4 or 5 inches deep. It's not critical. Probably about half the depth or a third of the depth of the spade would be adequate. So I'm going to start taking out a trench now. So I'll start from this end here. And just take the soil out and dip it to the edge of the plot like that. Then as we get further along, just throw some annual weeds in there, that doesn't matter. Just clean it out so you get a nice flat bottom. There we are. A bit of grass there, doesn't matter. Just level it up. Okay, that's the trench dug. We're all ready now for the potatoes, and here's a tray of them. These have been standing in this tray for several weeks now, in the light, actually in a cold greenhouse. I've just covered them if it's been frosty at night. The idea of putting them into the light is to make the potatoes start to grow, and you'll see on this one that there are some nice little shoots, short and sturdy. That's what you want. You don't want long shoots on there. Long shoots suggest that they've been kept in the dark for too long, but also they're very likely to get broken when you put them into the soil and cover them up. So nice short shoots. Varying sizes doesn't make a lot of difference, just plant them as they are. We're going to plant them in the row about 8 to 10 centimetres apart. So let's make a start. Okay. Now, when I place them in the rows, I just laid them in. Just make sure that at least one of the shoots is actually pointing upwards or out to the side. Don't put the shoots at the bottom, otherwise they'll have to grow underneath the potato and come round before they get to the surface. So that's your potatoes in place. Simple job next, to get a rake. All we're going to do now is pull all of this soil back over the potatoes and cover them right up. Right, one important point I need to point out to you is that these potatoes that they're planting are actually specially grown as seed potatoes. They're grown and certified to be disease free, and also they're grown last year to be sown this year, and they're stored under conditions that will ensure that they will grow this year. If you try to grow potatoes that you just bought from the supermarket, you're unlikely to be successful. They are grown and stored under conditions which prevent them from growing, because you don't want the potatoes to grow, otherwise you can't sell them. So please make sure that you buy certified and plant certified seed potatoes. Right, so that's our first row of potatoes in. I'm going to put 3 rows in this area here. So what I've done now is I've moved this string along for the next row. Now you'll notice that there's quite a large gap. There's about 2 feet distance, 60 centimetres between the 2 rows. It's essential that you leave plenty of room so the plants can grow, and you'll see why later. We'll get into that a little bit later. I'm going to plant 3 rows here, as I've said. 2 or 3 weeks time, assuming we get some rain, which will help things to grow a little bit faster, these potatoes will be starting to come up. We'll come back and take a look at them, and I'll explain to you how to care for them after that. Thank you.